Walk into a forest in central Uganda, and you're met with a wet, dark environment where the trees are so thick they block the sky. But travel northeast to Karamoja, and that greenery vanishes. It's replaced by open, dusty plains and a landscape that looks like a different planet. Geographically, both of these places sit near the equator. On paper, they should experience the same intense, year-round heat. The reason they look nothing alike is climate, the long-term patterns of rain and temperature that govern the natural world. Climate determines what can survive in a specific patch of Earth. By looking at how it works, we can understand why East Africa is divided into such distinct zones of life. While the equator provides a baseline of high heat, several geographic factors act as modifiers, shifting the weather from one mile to the next. The most immediate factor is altitude. As you move higher above sea level, the air cools down significantly. This is why the peaks of Mount Rwenzori are covered in snow and ice, even though they sit directly on the hot equator. Water also changes the math. Take Lake Victoria, the largest water body in the region. The intense sun causes massive amounts of water to evaporate and rise. As that moisture cools, it falls back as heavy convectional rainfall, soaking the land directly around the lake. These factors take the uniform heat of the equator and break it up, creating a mosaic of different climate zones across the region. In nature, plants adapt to their specific climate. If you know the rainfall and temperature of an area, you can predict exactly what will grow there. The equatorial climate is defined by high heat and heavy rain that falls almost every day of the year. This creates the tropical rainforest. Because there is so much water and heat, trees grow incredibly tall and develop massive roots to stay anchored in the wet soil. These trees grow so close together that their tops form a thick canopy. This blocks the sunlight, preventing grass from growing on the forest floor below. The savanna climate is different. It's still hot, but the rain is seasonal, with a clear wet season followed by a long dry one. This results in open grasslands with scattered, fire-resistant trees like the acacia. In semi-arid zones, the heat is intense, and the rain is both scarce and unreliable. The vegetation here is limited to tough scrub, short, dry grasses, and thorny bushes that are experts at hoarding what little moisture they find. Finally, mountain climates provide cool, wet conditions that change as you climb higher. This creates montane vegetation, where you'll find specialized ecosystems like dense bamboo forests on the high-altitude slopes. Across East Africa, the type of wild landscape you see is a direct response to the temperature and the rainfall of the region. These natural zones didn't just determine where forests grew, they defined how people lived, what they ate, and how they built their communities. In the wet equatorial zones, constant rain and fertile soil allowed people to become settled farmers. These conditions are perfect for long-term crops like coffee and bananas. Generations of farmers have built permanent homes and stable lives around these harvests. But in semi-arid zones, where rain is too unreliable for farming, humans had to find a different way to survive. Communities like the Karamojong and Maasai became nomadic pastoralists. They kept herds of cattle and moved constantly to find the water and grass needed to stay alive. Today, modern tools like irrigation and drought-resistant seeds are helping people push back against these limits, making us less dependent on the timing of the rain. Yet the physical reality of the climate remains. From snow on the Rwenzori to coffee farms on the plains, these patterns of heat and moisture continue to define the East African landscape.